Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Today is the day. Um, we normally talk about budget, finance, student loan forgiveness, unemployment benefits, that kind of thing here on my channel, Shelly's Millions. And today I'm in Southern California. I am in Los Angeles. So I imagine what you all actually want to talk about is I don't want to capitalize on anyone's trouble. I'm hoping that everybody stays safe and just healthy out there. Try to stay off the roads if you can. That's what I understand the recommendation is. Let me know how you're all doing over there in the comments. Alex says, staying home all day. I'm not. I am scheduled to work. Okay, you guys kind of know this. I am located in pretty much Los Angeles, and my theater is in Pasadena. Right now, we're scheduled to be open. Now, with that said, right, I'm not saying anything bad about the company. They're monitoring, we're monitoring. They're like, keep us posted if you hear anything. So there's a two-way dialogue on what the recommendations are in terms of being on the roads today, businesses staying open, that kind of thing. But I am scheduled to be there at 3 o'clock today. So usually I leave at about 2. Today I'll try and get out on the road at about 1:30, which is unfortunately like right at the height of everything, right? And then I'll get off work at about 11, and it's my understanding that things should be like decreasing again by then. Right now where I am, it's raining a little bit. And that's it. Not really any wind, no thunderstorms yet, nothing like that. I will let you guys know what I have done to prepare in case you guys want to know that. Um, and Alex saying it'll be an all-day thing because of Hurricane Hillary. Is your home safe from mass flooding? So here, this is more on the budget side and finance side of things. So, Alex, I don't know if you heard this. Okay, hi, Prince Ellie. It's good to see you. Not under these circumstances, but good to see you in here. I'll read your comment next. So, my house is in, well, it just got taken out of a flood zone. When I bought the house, so there were all these things that I had to do. I bought a short sale, right? So I had to pay off, like, you kind of agree to buy the house by paying off the old loan. And then they made me have an oven, and I was mad about that because I was like, I don't even know what I want my kitchen to look like, let alone buy an oven. But they made me buy an oven, something about like it's not considered a real house until you can like cook in it or something. So the bank wouldn't finance the loan without an oven. That almost put me over the edge. And then I found out that I was going to have to carry flood insurance. Good to see you too, Sonia. I was going to have to carry flood insurance on my property, which was about $100 a month, maybe 120. And I had to carry that for like maybe the first 8 to 10 years, 11 years of my loan, because they marked that I was in a flood zone. But so far, no flooding. And it's like 100-year flood zone. So that's the thing. That's why a lot of people don't have insurance. And I dropped the flood insurance as soon as I was able to, mostly because I've heard that if the damage is bad enough, that you should just go through FEMA. Now I'm hearing like not great information about FEMA in terms of like what's going on in Maui. So I don't know. But I've heard that insurance companies are very slow to pay out if there is damage, and that it's not actually going to cover your expenses. So I did drop my flood insurance. I'm hoping that's not a mistake. I feel like the drainage here around my property is okay. But there's so much trash and things in the gutter system that I'm not sure the gutters in my neighborhood are working that well. And if they had me carry the flood insurance all those years ago, it is still possible that there's danger of flooding here. But I'm not particularly worried about that. Like, I feel safe. I don't feel like my property is going to flood. But that's the thing about this, right? Especially like this particular storm is we don't really know. California is not really built for this kind of thing. Like in other states where it's common to have hurricanes and tropical storms, there's building codes and things to make sure that it would withstand like a certain, I don't know, like a wind factor or something like that. And in California, we don't necessarily have those codes. That's not to say like everything's going to be bad or anything. It shouldn't be, fingers crossed, but we don't really know. Like weather is unpredictable. Even like the predicted path is just a prediction. And let me know, we'll probably pull up a map of the storm in just a minute. Okay, so Prince Ali says, my entire apartment complex is in a valley next to a creek. So you packed all your stuff and drove to your sister's house who lives in a plateau, not taking any risks. Yeah, and I think that is, wise. You guys know my mom lives in a trailer, a mobile home. And she's a little bit further east than I am. So she actually has probably more reason to worry than I do. But we talked and I was like, are you worried about this? Do you want me to come get you? Do you want to come stay with me right now? And she said no, that she feels fine, but she's staying home. So yeah, again, stay safe, everybody. Let me tell you really quick the things that I have done to prepare. I have filled like all the water jugs and pitchers in my house. Pitcher, not picture. Pitcher in my house so that like I have extra drinking water. I haven't filled my tub with water yet, which I have seen a lot of suggestions to do. And I guess so the dangers here, and I heard it on TikTok, but it seemed like logical to me. The dangers are flooding, specifically in desert areas, because like that ground, it's not designed to absorb the water. And the analogy I heard on TikTok was, picture pouring a glass of water on a carpet versus picture pouring water on like a tile floor, or like wood plank floor or whatever. If it's on like a tile floor, all that water is going to spread, but also just kind of sit there, versus like a carpet, it's going to just like absorb right down. So that's kind of the analogy there. And the filling your bathtub with water, that's so you can flush your toilet, right? In case of a power outage. So flooding is a concern, especially in the desert. And I'm not an expert. I'm just like quoting some stuff that I heard, like, not gonna lie, mostly on TikTok. So take all this with a grain of salt. But the other concern is that we'll lose power. And if we lose power, why would that have anything to do with flushing your toilets? Why would we lose water? We'll Google that in a second. But anyway, they do say in thunderstorms, you're not supposed to like use your water. Like I guess electricity can travel through the plumbing. I didn't hear that from TikTok. That was like a reliable news source, that electricity can travel through the plumbing. So like you're not supposed to shower, you're not supposed to do your dishes, you're not supposed to do laundry, things like that. Like don't use your water that also uses electricity, I guess, or don't use your water during a thunderstorm. Anyway, so filling your tub with water is mostly for flushing the toilet. So like you'd fill your tub with water, and then like if you need to use the water, you know how like if you put extra water in the toilet, it makes it flush even if you haven't flushed the handle. So that's what the water in the tub is mostly for, is to make sure that you can flush your toilet. At least that's my understanding. Please feel free to correct me if I'm saying anything that is not correct. So I haven't done that, but I have filled up a lot of extra pitchers with water. I have food, like shelf-stable food, like canned goods, things like that. So I would have food even if like the electricity in my refrigerator went out. Canned food items, I have all those things already. I had plenty of toilet paper, so I didn't need to go out and buy any additional toilet paper in case like, and again, it's not necessarily that the stores are going to run out or anything like that is just going to be like, if there was a downed power line or the streets did flood, like, don't be out there in your car, right? So I had toilet paper. I have food. I feel like I have enough water that would get me through a couple of days. I even like I keep a glass of water. Normally I keep an empty glass next to my sink so that I can get like water in the middle of the night or something like that. I already filled that glass with water. I also I had to like dig for it, but I do have a power bank so that if I lose electricity, I can still charge my phone. So I'm charging up like my extra power bank for that. And this is kind of embarrassing, but I've had that since I was playing Pokemon Go. So I used to keep like an extra charger because like I would play Pokemon Go so long that like my phone battery would die while I was out there playing. And so I'm charging that up. I do have flashlights, I have candles, I have batteries. So for me, I know that I could also charge my phone on my laptop. So if I lose power and I need to charge my phone, I could use my laptop, and my laptop's fully charged up. It's not always, but it is right now. So my laptop's charged up. I just got a good book the other day. I like, coming from the film industry, I like John Waters, and I'm reading his book Liar Mouth right now. I'm really enjoying it. It's kind of dirty. But like John Waters, he's always associated with filthy, so I'm reading that. So I've got a book. I've got, I food, water, all of those things. So I'm feeling like as safe as I can. I'm planning on driving to and from work. I'm planning on like watching all the reports, seeing if it's advising against that. But movie theaters, like, we sell tickets like weeks in advance. So we have ticket sales. This is going to be one of the rare instances though, like where if you don't already have tickets, like I don't recommend going out today personally. You know, like, I will say that generally when I'm working and there's no guest coming in, it makes for a long, dull day. But I would rather see you guys be safe. Like, I will go in case there's people. Sometimes people just want to take their minds off of things, right? Movie theater is a great place to do that, to just escape. We've still got Oppenheimer. It runs 3 hours. That's 3 hours that you could take your mind off the storm. I definitely feel safe in my building. Movie theaters are like one of the safest places to be during any kind of emergency, because if you think about it, there's not really anything that can like fall on you. It's like kind of like a wide open space. So it's not dangerous for you inside the theater, but what is dangerous potentially is being on the road. So stay home today, guys. You have my full permission as a movie theater manager, as someone who wants to see the movie theater business rebound and be super successful. Totally understandable if you guys stay home today. I will be at work twiddling my thumbs, and that's okay. But for those of you who don't feel safe at home and you feel safe on the road, movie theater is a pretty safe place to be, almost any of them. So yeah, it's definitely safe once you're inside. It's just the getting inside part. So understandable if you guys skip out on the movies today. Okay, Andrew says the garage to my apartment is underground, so I moved my car to the street where there are no power lines and trees to smash it. Hopefully this was wise. I'm worried the entire garage will flood. We're doing what we can. We're making decisions based on the information that we have. That sounds like a good idea to me. Sonia says, you're not in a flood zone. The mortgage company checked and they approved me. Okay, that's awesome. Uh-oh, my boss is calling me. I'm gonna decline. Oops. What is he texting me? Oh, okay. Let me see if I can share this. Uh-oh. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah. So my boss is just saying it's just raining, that he feels comfortable staying open. The thing that I don't know about is the winds later, right? I drive the little Prius C, so I've had little wind before, and it definitely kind of blows the car. Something else, something that my best friend said, the one that does work from home out of my garage, that made me feel much better. You guys should like this. If you guys like this comment, like the video. My best friend reminded me that we get the Santa Ana winds here pretty frequently. And I was like, but the Santa Ana winds are not that powerful. But then I Googled it, and the Santa Ana winds seem like they're basically as strong as this tropical storm winds are supposed to be. The tropical storm winds may be a little bit heavier, but in general, not too bad. Most movie theater companies have locations in San Diego. You guys know that I've worked in San Diego before, so we do have a location there. I'm hoping that they're okay. I don't think it's hit land yet. Again, we're going to pull up a chart in just a minute. Okay. Oops. Yeah, your mortgage company checked before they would finance you. Yeah, and my mortgage company checked, and I was in a flood zone, but they rezoned the flood zones, so that's why I'm not required to have the flood insurance anymore. Bonnie says it's raining steadily in Hollywood. Yeah, and it's picking up here a little bit, but it's still not too bad. Okay, the Big Cheese says, I lived in Florida in 1992 when Hurricane Andrew hit. Did you know that was the most expensive hurricane until Katrina? Truly devastating. Thank you. This won't be an Andrew or a Katrina. And by the time it lands here on land in Southern California, it's only supposed to be a tropical storm. So I think, right, like, because we all watch the news whenever there's like a hurricane watch somewhere else. I feel like level 1 and 2 hurricanes, they don't even talk about like evacuating people, like in Houston and things like that. It's when it gets to 3 that like they start warning people, I think, and then level 4 is when they start kind of encouraging people that if they can safely evacuate, to safely evacuate. But that would be if it landed on land as a level 4 hurricane, right? Other than that, you hear everybody just talking about like the hurricane watch parties. And sometimes even in like level 4 hurricane, you hear other states talk about like hurricane parties. But this is going to be a tropical storm. It is, here in California, we've got those desert conditions, right? So I see that there's 11 of you in here. I just said something that put my mind at ease, right? Which was that my best friend reminded me that we get the Santa Ana winds here all the time. But the desert thing, on TikTok, I heard the analogy. It's like pouring water onto carpet where like it would be absorbed right away, versus like this rain is not going to be like that for the desert areas. It's going to be as if you poured a glass of water onto like a tile or a linoleum floor, where it's not going to absorb down into the ground. It's just going to kind of sit there and then spread, just sitting water. So that's kind of the concern there. But yeah, this is a tropical storm, should not be that bad, but here in the state of California, we're just not used to this level of wind or this level of water at this time of year. So yeah, just trying to stay home today. Sonia says, I have a battery powered lantern and batteries powered under counter lights. Oh, that's awesome. I do not have any under counter lights, but I have my flashlight ready. I have batteries ready. I have candles, that kind of thing that I already had. I don't think I bought anything to prepare for the storm. I did make as many pitchers of water to put in my fridge as possible. Yeah, okay. And then W says, Hurricane Andrew and Katrina were both Category 5 hurricanes at landfall. We're just getting a tropical storm. Thankfully, it's just the remnants of the hurricane. Yes. And Sonia's saying it seems as if it's just going to be a very bad tropical storm. Yeah, and that's what I'm hearing as well. I feel like I should text my boss and let him know that I'm doing my YouTube thing, and I'll call him. Um, I'll call him at 12 when I'm done. Okay, so let's see here. Let's, everybody's looking at the live trackers, right? So I feel like we're going to pull up a live tracker. We'll do that together. Okay. Hurricane Hillary tracker live. That seems like I don't want to do that. Let's do the LA Times. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, so has it finally made landfall? Because I was looking at this earlier. It does look like it's finally made landfall. Where is that? It is in Mexico. And I've got it really zoomed in here. Let me know if you want me to zoom it out. Oh, lots of toilet paper and paper towels. Yeah, I mean, and also, guys, like I'm like a single person living by myself, right? Single people generally live by themselves. So I'm a single person living by myself. And so when I buy like an 8-pack of toilet paper, like that's going to last me at least 2 months. Like I feel like most I go through is like 1 roll of toilet paper a week. I do get the big rolls, but like I have plenty of toilet paper. So I usually have those things on hand because they don't even really. Oh, my friend and fellow manager from San Diego just texted me and he says right now it's all heavy rain. So here, in Los Angeles, it's like light rain right now. It's not even like heavy rain. So in San Diego, he says it's heavy rain. So he didn't mention anything about wind, that's good because I feel like the wind is what blows down the power lines. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay. So Alex says, I looked up category 5 footage on YouTube and it looks terrifying. Wind is strong enough to blow an entire house down. Yeah, if it landed as a category 5, if it landed here in Southern California, if it landed anywhere as a category 5, that's going to be very, very dangerous. But that's not what's projected here. So, and look at how worried we are. And it's supposed to just be a tropical storm. So my heart really goes out to anybody who's ever experienced an actual hurricane in their state. And speaking of heart going out, my heart just goes out to the people in Maui. I've never been to Maui. I have been to Oahu and I've been to the Big Island, and they're beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. But like now is not the time to vacation there. I want to invest in property. I'm not going to try and and they're always telling you like find a deal, like find people that just want to get out of their land. Don't do that in Maui right now. Like don't do that in Maui, right? Like that's terrible. I was on the verge of tears. You guys, if you guys know me, like I'm a bleeding heart, right? I almost made a TikTok video being like, if somebody needs a place to stay and you want to you can make your way out to California. Like I have a spare bedroom, that would be this one, here at my house. And then I was like, Shelly, don't do that. Just because I normally instantly regret having roommates, but my desire to help the people in Maui is very, very strong. And just to hear that they don't have that they lost everything is just heartbreaking, right? So I get very emotional hearing their stories, and I want to help, and maybe I don't have enough money that I could send them, but maybe if somebody needed to stay here, maybe it could be, oh, my phone is just blowing up. Uh-oh. Okay. And then my boss is saying, ba, 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 ba. Okay, my not my boss, but like my boss's boss says, "Hi." She says with an exclamation point. Let me see if I can read it. Let me read it first and then see. Trying to see if we need to close sooner. Can you check the Pasadena's competition? Can you check if they are open or when they are closed? She spelled closed wrong. My real boss types really fast sometimes. So yeah, let's look at that in just a second. Okay. Sonia says you've gone through quite a few hurricanes going up. You're from Jamaica. That's somewhere I have always wanted to visit. Okay. Side note, we're going to just talk about something happy for like 2 seconds. I used to take pole dancing classes. Yes, you heard that right. Yes, it pretty much this weight. It is very good exercise. It's filled all with women of all different shapes and sizes. The studio that I went to is a Black owned studio. I was so happy to support all of those women. It's called Secret Pole Dance Studio. And I had the best time. But some of the instructors were from Jamaica, and oh, those girls could teach you how to shake it. And then she's always posting when she goes back to Jamaica to visit and like living vicariously through her. So I would love to go one day to Jamaica. Okay, Infinity, you're visiting your cousin in San Diego. Also, he hasn't been in forever, but I'm certainly thinking about one of my longtime viewers who used to support the channel a lot, Daniel Chambers. I've been thinking about you all week, hoping that you're safe out there. Okay, Infinity, you're visiting your cousin in San Diego. She lives in a part of town that's on higher ground, Mira Mesa, so I think we're safe. Okay, be careful. Just be careful and stay off of the roads. You guys, we might, okay. Do I share with you my research on other movie theaters being open in the area? I don't know. Hold on. Okay, it's heartbreaking in Maui. You donate through the Samaritan Purse. Okay. I'll look into that. I'm going to write that down. Let's write it on the whiteboard. Samaritan Purse. Oh God, Joel, I'm about to read. I'm about to cry just skimming your comment. Hang on, I gotta write down the word Samaritan Purse. Okay. Joel says, now we're talking about Maui. I guess today's disaster Sunday. Stay safe out there, you guys. Much love to all of you and your families and your friends and your businesses and your places of employment. Okay, Joel says, my aunt lives in Maui and her business in the town of Lahaina was burned to the ground. Thankfully, she's okay and her home's not burned down because she lives elsewhere in Maui. You know, and people are strong and they are resilient and they come together in times of emergencies. And that's really beautiful to see. But it's also really sad to see the people trying to take advantage of it. And I do like, it's interesting because at least the way I've always been told is like Maui needs tourism, right? Hawaii needs tourism. And certainly there's a lot of hotels and there's a lot of things like that. But I think right now, divert your trip. Don't go to Maui. Like the other islands, I haven't heard them say, please don't come, right? But I think the people of the area know best. Like, and now is not the time. Like, even if you're not going to go near Lahaina, like, don't go to Maui. They're saying don't go. I think too, because they need the boats and the planes and everything to get them resources. Anyway, Joel, I'm very sorry that your aunt lost her shop. And I hope, that she makes it through okay. And just know that like I'm now rooting for her to get back on her feet and to help her neighbors get back on her feet also. Okay, Samaritan Purse for Maui. Okay, Joel's saying, Sonia, have you witnessed a really bad Category 5 hurricane in Jamaica? Those are scary and then even sound scary, like a freight train coming your way. That definitely does sound scary. Samaritan Purse is Billy Graham, now run by his son, Franklin Graham, and they help all over the world. You left there in 1985, but most of your family still lives there, so you're on pins and needles now. Hi, little Rambo. Oh, it's my mom. What's my mom saying? News saying it's worse 2 to 10. Mostly mountains. Mudslides, blowing debris is very dangerous. So please stay home. Lots of unknowns, not worth the extra risks. Mom, as far as I know, I'm still going to work. Let's zoom out on the map again. And my mom is closer to this than I am. And is this so 10:55 a.m. So this is about 40 minutes ago. It's headed towards Baja. So it hasn't even made it like up to Tijuana or San Diego yet, or near our area. Now, my mom is right. She's just going to miss it, hopefully, because I won't say exactly where, but my mom's over here in this area. And then I am a little bit further east. Let's zoom out on this. So again, that's just the projected path that it's going to take. Okay, W says, only Maui is being advised not to visit, but you can go to the Big Island, Oahu, Kauai, Lanai, and Molokai. I hope I said those Molokai, maybe not Molokai. Anyway, Molokai, I think it is. So, and all of those. Here's why I've never been to Maui. Maui's very expensive. Oahu is the cheapest one to go to. And then the Big Island, I actually won a trip. I've told this story before. I stayed in the Odell's Butter condo. And you would think that everything would be yellow if you were staying in the Odell's Butter condo, but it wasn't. It was the only thing that identified it as being owned by Odell's Butter was it had some Post-it notes that had like the Odell's logo on it. Okay, let's see. Yeah, and the Big Island, like I love Oahu also. The Big Island has the Volcano National Park. And guys, you can literally see the earth being made. Like you see where the volcanic ash meets the water. And when volcanic ash meets the water, it hits, like it instantly like forms like solid rock. It's crazy. All right, you guys, let's look at some of this stuff. There's a picture of me when I was really young. I was going to see if I could find a picture of me in Hawaii. Oh, no, this is not the right one. It's me in San Diego. There's little me at a work event. Anyway, okay. So, your favorite island is actually Kauai. So green and lovely. That's where they filmed Jurassic Park. And I would love to go there, but those flights are more expensive to any island that's not Oahu. So that's why I've been to Oahu twice, and I have been to the Big Island just once. And still no pictures of Hawaii. That's because I'm pretty sure I'm in the whole wrong photo album, and the other one's not nearby. Okay. Shabam says, hey there, you want to work as a thumbnail designer for me? Shabam, message me. It's Shelly's Billions at gmail.com. So I actually really enjoy making thumbnails. The thing is, especially for my lives, is that I'm really bad about planning in advance and making them. But I actually think that making the thumbnails is the funnest part of the entire process. I almost like that more than videos. I certainly like that more than editing. Shabam, what I really need is somebody to edit. But Shabam, let's make some thumbnails. I don't know what my budget is for that, but if you're just looking to get experience and credit, you know, I know nothing's free, but I also know that it's a great way for you to develop your skills in your portfolio and for you to help somebody out. So let's chat. I just dropped my email in the chat. So let me put it up on screen. You guys, if you want to reach out to me, that's going to be the best email address as well. Shelly's Millions was taken. So it's Shelly's Billions with a B. And yeah, I think when I actually take the time to make a thumbnail, I sort of think they're good, but like help is help. And so I'm not going to turn that down. Let's see what you had in mind. Joy and Joey's life vlogs says, hi, Shelly and everyone. Shelly, I hope you got your ceiling fixed. Oh, so I have an update on that. Based on a community post that I posted, it's just peeling paint. I can't actually see like up and into my roof. My roof is good because I had to replace my roof. So Joy and Joey's life vlogs. I use Canva. When I actually make a thumbnail, I just use Canva. And even the paid version of Canva is only like $14.99. Oh no, I might be lying. I think it's $114 a year. I really like Canva. It's easy. I have turned out to like using Canva. I bought Photoshop and I couldn't figure it out. Sorry that we were talking about the storm, or we're supposed to be talking about finance, and now we're talking about Canva. But that's how it sometimes goes on these lives. To those of you just tuning in, please stay safe out there. Stay off the roads if you can. Yes. It is just paint. I think it was your comment that caused me to be like, oh, is this just paint? And yeah, so I got up up there. For those of you who are like, why is she talking about her ceiling? So obviously it's raining, right? So we're all probably thinking about, oh my goodness, how's my roof, right? I'm also wondering, oh my goodness, how's my roof in terms of if it does get really windy? So I have these cracks in my bedroom ceiling, or I thought they were cracks, but it turns out it's just peeling paint. What's causing the paint to peel in my bedroom and look like a crack is a completely different topic. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm not in danger of like the roof caving in. And the paint in the ceiling, and I haven't picked it off, I'm just going to be honest. I told myself no projects in August because I'm feeling very tapped out. We had a big prior month at work and I did the laundry. Anyway, whatever. I had a lot going on personally and I just needed to take a whole month off where I'm not going to the doctor. I'm not going to the dentist. I'm not doing home projects. And yeah, now that I know it's paint, like even if it did fall, like it would just be messy to clean up. Maybe I'll do that after I get off the live before I go to work. Okay. Real quick. So yeah, I use Canva and I like Canva way easier than Photoshop, way more intuitive, user-friendly, like it's a fast start. Okay. So we're still talking about this hurricane though. Okay. So I'm going to hit refresh. It is just a tropical storm. Oh, I'm way zoomed out. It's the whole world. Oops. Let's go this way. So again, it looks like it's on land because that's where the marker is a tropical storm, I believe, in Baja California. So let's Google tropical storm Hillary. Oh, is there just one Hillary? Baja. Okay. These are the top stories 10 minutes ago. Tropical storm makes landfall in northern Baja. Hurricane Hillary live. Palm Springs is going to get flash floods. CNN. Okay, let's look at this because see, here's the thing. Even though this article was only written 10 minutes ago, I feel like NBC News doesn't pull from the most recent source. So I feel like they're pulling from old. But anyway, okay. This is from NBC News. What to know about the storm. We're now looking at Baja California because it's landed there. Yeah, I'm very happy that it was just paint on my ceiling. Hi, Ben. Hope that you're okay. Last night you had a pre-hurricane barbecue because it wasn't raining. You made steaks, some barbecue chicken, and ribs. Plenty of leftovers for today, and you won't go out anymore. So that's what I've heard, right? Okay, from other states, they're like, get the barbecue going, because apparently, right, if you lose power, then you're going to lose all your meat, and nobody wants to lose their meat because meat is expensive, right? So they were like, get your brisket and your alcohol. That's what I heard. Like, I shouldn't be smiling about that, but they were like, get the grill out. So good for you. Your meat's not going to go bad. Now I've got food for a couple days. Joy and Joey says, okay, thank you. And I used Canva too. I guess I have to learn to get more creative. Yeah. So everything I've done, like, what I like is the background remover on Canva. So like if I used a picture of my face right now, I could cut out the background of the room and we could put a storm map behind me. And that would probably be a good thumbnail since that's mostly what we've talked about today. Okay, so what to know about the storm. Tropical storm Hilary made landfall Sunday on Baja California Peninsula with catastrophic and life-threatening flooding expected in the region. So it hasn't started yet, but it's expected, including across portions of the southwestern United States, according to the National Hurricane Center. One person has drowned on Saturday in the Mexican town of Santa Rosalia on the peninsula's eastern coast when a vehicle was swept away in an overflowing stream. Rescue workers managed to save 4 other people. Forecasters warned of life-threatening flooding in areas not known for rainfall and said strong winds might down trees and power lines. The governor, Gavin Newsom, on Saturday, so yesterday, declared a state of emergency ahead of Hilary's expected landing later Sunday. And the storm is expected to enter the history books in the first tropical storm to hit Southern California in 84 years. Okay, wait. So there is some flash flooding, maybe. Okay. Officials at Death Valley National Park reported flash flooding on the grounds, saying that water was already flowing across roads in the park as of 8:42 a.m. local time. 8:42, it's 11:47, so that's 3 hours ago. 8 to 9 to 10 to 11. Yeah, 3 hours ago. It will get worse and roads will be impassable. Officials said in an update on the park's website. Emergency services probably won't be able to respond. The park is likely to lose power, communications, and potable water, meaning drinkable water. The National Weather Service has issued a flood watch for the area that's in effect till 5 a.m. Tuesday. So again, that's Death Valley National Park. Oh, this does not seem good, guys, and this is important. Please pay attention. Please listen to this. This is from a news source. Shabam, I'll check after the live. So I will check and we'll be in contact. Okay. Part of Riverside County has been placed under evacuation order. A portion of Riverside County has been placed under an evacuation order, according to a tweet from the County Emergency Management Department. So if you know anybody in Riverside, make sure that they're aware of this. The order applies to an area under flood warning just west of the Moronga Reservation, including Mias Canyon and East Mias Canyon roads, and a portion of Banning Canyon Road. The evacuation order, according to the county, means that there is an immediate threat to life and constitutes, oh my goodness, guys, constitutes a lawful order to leave now. So burn scar areas are in danger of flooding. Let me see if we can. Okay, guys, I'm going to see if I can stream that again. I feel like a lot of you are from Southern California, and I feel like maybe we all have some friends in Riverside. I know that my friend, like, I haven't seen her forever, but she's someone that I went to high school with. She teaches out in San Bernardino County. I don't know where she lives. Okay, I'm going to share. Oops, we're going to share this tab, and I'm going to see if I can zoom in here. Those are all my email addresses. Let's just ignore that for a second. Okay. So this is interesting because this is right around where my mom and I so this is a little area, just that area on the map is where the evacuation order is in place, as far as I know. So it's in place for the MIAS or MIAS zone of Apple/El Dorado burn scar. Um, Now, my mom and I like to go play that we found that they play bingo out there. So we've certainly been there. Um, yeah, okay. Let's go back to this page and we've got a new update. So let's see what it says. And guys, I want to read a little bit about FEMA. I don't want to spread anything like false, but I do know in Maui, they're very concerned that something in the way the FEMA help is listed, they're concerned that it's a ploy for FEMA to take the land. And I don't know anything about that. Oh, okay. My mom got an emergency flash flood alert till 7:45. I don't have any alerts on my phone. Oh my god, I just wanna go live. Like, I'm curious if my job's gonna stay open because it sounds like my boss is considering, um, closing. Like, not even, like, my boss, but, like, my boss's boss, like, our regional director. Telling her I'll call her at noon too. I might come back on and go live if I don't end up having to go to work today. Mom, you stay safe. Don't be on the roads. If any there my mom has a lot of little kittens in her trailer park area. You let those little kittens in. Don't let them be out there in that water. Just let them in. You snuggle all the little kittens, please. Let them in the house. Let the little kittens in the house. And then I'll take one home. Maybe. Maybe you'll keep them all. Okay. Ready for the world. Is it so sad that Gavin Newsom is the poster child for corruption in California? We could sure use the $30 billion he lost during the unemployment EDD fiasco. Department of Justice confirmed Bureau of Prisons and IT involved. Oh boy. Thank you, Sylvia. Prayers for her West Coast peeps. Stay safe, Shelly's mom. See, mom, and Ben says, snuggle the kittens and feed it to. There's a lot of little kittens where my mom is. Okay. Oh, they're saying, thinking we close early. They're consulting with HR. They're consulting with our film buyer. Like, it's interesting for businesses, right? I don't know exactly what those behind the scenes conversations look. I know that they oftentimes companies are accused of not caring about their employees. I don't feel like that with my company. I feel like they're monitoring the news and that they're not exactly sure. My mom says, I hope you can stay home. So many unexpected dangers. Yeah, I don't know. And it's noon right now. So or almost. So I would be leaving at like 1:30. So yeah, I mean the thing is like and they wouldn't force me, right? We had a couple of employees who didn't feel safe commuting to work. They called out sick. Totally understandable today, right? And I do feel like my company is trying to like be careful and they're keeping our safety in mind and keeping the safety in mind of our guests. Like if we're open, while I do think movie theaters are a safe place to be, but if we stay open, that says come on down. And like maybe we should close so that like we're not saying come on down. So it's tricky because we do have people also who have already bought tickets. So we would need to communicate with them. Anyway, like we can definitely do that. It's nothing that we can't do. And I'm sure that my company is, well, they don't know, right? We don't know. None of us know. I'm sure the people at Target went to work today. The people at grocery stores are probably at work today. There are Uber Eats drivers and Instacart drivers that probably went to work today. the thing is, you just don't know. And we don't have like a precedence for this, right? So the saying is, right, and I'm not saying that this is what my company said, but like this, you just gotta play it by ear, right? Because we don't know. And I definitely feel like if my company's talking about it right now, this is certainly before the worst of the storm is supposed to hit the area where the theater is located. So I do feel like they're trying to plan in advance. Um, and they're seeking out even my opinion, like, hey, what do you think? I was like, hey, I'll answer you back at noon. And it sounds like they're leaning towards closing. So, yeah. Thank you. I love podcast. I'm doing okay. I hope you're doing okay too. I hope anybody watching this is doing okay. Yeah. I don't even really hear any rain outside though right now. When I first started my live, I did hear rain and now I don't. Okay, we got another update. So let's see what the update says. Las Vegas is on flood watch, and 2 minutes ago. So that's the update, is that Las Vegas is on flood watch. This is a photo. I haven't even hit play, but I know it's a photo of one specific like area where there's tunnels, where I guess a lot of unhoused people are to stay out of the heat and things. So I do hope everybody is safe. But again, like, we don't know what to expect. And I do feel like, I just want to make it really, really clear that I do feel supported by my place of business. And I hope that those of you out there who are making the decision to get on the road and drive to work or not, I hope that you work for companies that value your input in terms of like your safety, because ultimately my company would never force me to go to work if I felt unsafe. We wouldn't ask that of our employees. Like, even if they decide to stay open, they wouldn't say, Shelly, you're going to lose your job if you don't come to work today. They would say, we get it. You're going to be commuting on the freeway. We don't want you to blow off the road, right? They would say, we understand. We understand that decision and we support that decision. And I hope that for those of you that are facing similar decisions, have employers that are equally as understanding. Alex says, I just turned on the news and they're advising that you shouldn't even get on the road at all unless you absolutely have to. Okay, so I will pass that on to my employer. Yeah, I just hope everybody stays safe. And I had seen an article like that earlier that I actually, my direct boss, not the one, and he's just like me, going to give some input as to whether we should stay open or not. So this was an article. Okay, hang on. Let me see if I can find it. I'm just going to type it right in. I started to read it off my phone, but we'll read it together where you guys can see it. Hurricane, Hillary is coming if you have to drive. Okay, so this is an article. This article is from 2 days ago. So this isn't even a current article. Oh, what the heck? I have. Okay, so this article is from 2 days ago. Let me make sure I'm sharing the right thing. It's going to get bad after 5. So if I did go into work, I would probably stay until it totally like passed. I'm also scheduled to work tomorrow at 3:00. So like, if I needed to stay in Pasadena, I would definitely do that. If I do go in, I don't think I would. I don't know because we don't know how bad it's going to get. It's crazy. A little bit crazy. Okay. So this article is from 2 days ago, and it's in regards to if you should be on the road or if you have to drive. Here's how to do it safely. If you're like many Angelinos, you have even less experience driving on wet roads than you do driving on empty freeways. But with Hurricane Hillary churning its way towards Southern California, the roads are soon going to be very wet. And that means driving will be extra hazardous, not only because of the slick pavement, but also because of the abundance of drivers who don't know how to handle it. Peter Jones, who is a spokesperson for the California Department of Transportation, offered two pieces of advice for the weekend. Avoid all non-essential travel. So it looks like they have been recommending that for the last 2 days to avoid all non-essential travel, he said. And limit your time on the road during the peak of the storm, which is Sunday night to Monday. In particular, Jones said avoid the Interstate 5 corridor, the Tejon Pass, and the California Highway 24 corridor because, quote, if the storm hits LA, flooding is imminent there. Meaning, and there being the Interstate 5 corridor, the Tejon Pass, and the California Highway 24 corridor. Here's more tips for navigating storm-drenched roads safely. But again, we're going to scroll up and say that 2 days ago, they were saying avoid all non-essential travel and limit your time on the road during the peak of the storm, which is Sunday night to Monday. More tips for navigating storm-drenched roads safely. Check out the Caltrans Quick Map before heading out. Quick Map gives you updated information about road conditions, traffic, road closures, and anything else you might need to know about the roads in California. If you don't see what you need, call Caltrans at 213-897-3656. So once again, the Caltrans number is 213-897-3656. For traffic updates on a specific route, you can also check the Caltrans road information site or 1-800-427-ROAD. Once again, that number 1-800-427-ROAD. Be on the lookout for emergency vehicles. If you do see an emergency vehicle on the road, please move over because it gives the California Highway Patrol, other emergency personnel, and construction folks room to get through to handle the incident, Jones said. Don't drive on flooded streets. As little as 6 inches of water can cause cars to stall. 2 feet of water can sweep a car off the road, including an SUV or pickup truck. If you see a pool of water, don't just drive in because the water could be deeper than it appears. This water can hide axle-breaking potholes and other dangerous road conditions. Stay updated on and respectful of all road closure notifications and instructions from emergency responders. The National Weather Service's Turnaround Don't Drown campaign warns people of the hazards of walking or driving a vehicle through floodwaters. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention reported that over half of all flood-related drownings occur when a vehicle is driven into hazardous floodwater. The next highest percentage of flood-related death is due to walking into or near floodwaters. Turn on your headlights. Under California law, if your windshield wipers are on because of inclement weather, your headlights must be too. So that's something that sometimes I forget is that if it's raining, you need to keep your headlights on too. That's not just for this storm, that is for all the storms. Drive slowly, give yourself plenty of time to get to your destination, given the potential disruption to your usual route. Do not tailgate under any circumstances, as it takes longer to stop on wet roads, and abrupt stops may even result in hydroplaning, which will cause you to lose control of your car. Don't hit the brakes if you hydroplane. According to Progressive's Life Lanes blog, the first thing to do is take your foot off the gas, but don't slam on the brakes because sudden braking can cause the car to spin even further out of control. Next, gradually steer in the direction your car is hydroplaning. Make sure that your tires match the direction of travel. This makes it easier for the vehicle to regain traction and stay under control when it does get a grip on the road. And lastly, wait until you have control. As the car starts to decelerate and pass through the wet patch, it will be easier to get traction on a dry part of the road. Check your tires to ensure they are properly inflated and have enough tread depth to grip wet streets. The legal minimum is 2/32 of an inch, which is about the distance from the top of a Lincoln's head on a penny to the coin's edge. For wet roads, though, some tire retailers and insurers recommend at least 4/32 of an inch, or about the distance from the top of Washington's head on a quarter to the coin's edge. Make sure you have effective windshield wipers. DriversEd.com says that the general recommendation is to replace your windshield wipers every 6 to 12 months. Okay, I definitely have not done that. I replace them when they go on my windshield. So yeah, it's probably time for me to replace my windshield wipers. And if you aren't sure, then it's time to replace them. Look for these indicators. The rubber is damaged or hard and stiff to the touch. The wiper frame is bent. The wipers leave streaks on the windshield. That's normally when I would actually replace them, or skip across spots, or they make clicking, chattering, squeaking, or vibrating sounds when in use. Jones says Caltrans has workers available around the clock to answer calls and remove water from the roads where there is flooding or potential flooding. Rain weakens pavement and create or enlarge potholes. This is important. If your vehicle is damaged by potholes that are hidden by puddles during or after the storm, you may be able to obtain reimbursement from the government and your insurance company. Okay, so that was a little bit about driving, but again, this article is from 2 days ago, and it says that avoid all non-essential travel. And this is a spokesperson for the California Department of Transportation. So I will probably be sharing that with my my boss is when I talk to them, because that seems to be like the recommendation. Okay. I Love Podcast says, my employer told me to bring an umbrella to work. It's just water. I hope they were joking. Like sometimes, guys, like I can be a little bit jokey, right? Like I might say like, come on down, bring your umbrella, right? Like if we decide to stay open, but like I would be joking. Like if somebody doesn't feel safe, like I don't want somebody to come to work if they don't feel safe. Okay. My mom says, better to take every precaution and be ready than to find out the horrors and not be ready. Hopefully there's not going to be horrors. Hello, Colleen. You love how engaging I've been. Thank you, Colleen. I don't think I've seen you in my comments before, or if I have, it's been a long time. So either welcome or welcome back. I go live every Sunday morning. Sometimes we talk about the Barbie movie grosses. Sometimes I talk about what's going on in my house. Sometimes I talk about budget or money saving tips. But since I'm in Southern California and this is my first time dealing with a tropical storm, I figured that's what we really wanted to talk about today. So that's what we're talking about for the most part today. Sounds like if I go to work, I'll have to stay there overnight. It's possible. Or in my car. My sister's employer told her to stay home today, not to drive. I love your sister's employer. Sounds like she has found a good company to work for. Joel says, if your car gets flooded with water, now Joel's a mechanic, you guys, so we're going to trust what he says, but just putting that out there for anybody who didn't remember, Joel is a mechanic. If your car gets flooded with water, that pretty much is the end of your car. You can't dry it out and drive it again. It's done for. So yeah, don't drive through a puddle that's deep. And then again, the article on driving says you can't always gauge how deep a puddle is. Colleen, you're on schedule at the hospital tonight. So yippee. This is an interesting question. So when there's like an emergency, but there's not an emergency, what are you expecting for the hospital? Like, does the hospital have busy times? Like, I think I once heard that the hospital on like a Friday, Saturday is busier because like more people are out on the roads and potentially drinking and driving. But like, are people more likely to stay home from the hospital today? Or are you guys gearing up for potential injuries because of the flood? Or are you even allowed to share that information? These are the kinds of things that I really wonder. Okay, let's bring back up the tropical storm. And again, they're asking this area for Riverside County, this burn zone evacuation order for the Mias zone of Apple El Dorado burn scar to be evacuated. They are under evacuation order where there's burn scars in this area. Okay. what was I going to do? We're going to go back to the little flood map. And if I don't have to go to work, I'll probably come back on and go live unless I lose power. Okay. Hurricane Hilary live tracker. Live tracker. I like to sing everything to the tune of Hot Pockets. Okay. Okay. Where's Hurricane Hilary? We were looking at NBC News, and this seemed fine. 6 minutes ago, Los Angeles streets already beginning to flood. I have not experienced that. Okay. Although the storm has yet to make its way to Los Angeles, some people are already beginning to see the rain flooding city streets. We just pulled out from Universal Lot, and we've already seen several streets and intersections flooded. NBC Los Angeles reporter Alex Rosier tweeted Sunday. We've just pulled out from the Universal Lot, and we've already seen several streets and intersections flooded. Please be safe. Coverage all day live on at NBC LA, #Hillary. Oh boy. Uh-oh, Mom. Oh, Lord. So my mom doesn't live that far from Azusa. And you guys know that I'm in Pasadena. I'm not in Pasadena. Sorry. My job is in Pasadena. And Azusa, there's the Azusa Canyon, right? I used to go to school in Glendora, which is right there. So some residents of Azusa, a city located at the foot of San Gabriel Mountains, about 25 miles northeast of downtown LA, have been placed under an evacuation warning. So again, it's not all of Azusa, it's some residents. Officials are, I think that's supposed to say urging, but it says urging. Officials are urging residents, it's definitely supposed to say urging residents of the Mountain Cove area. I'm not familiar with that area, including those who live on Hollywood Court, Mountain Laurel Way, Moonridge Court, and Poppy Glen Court, according to a Facebook post from the Azusa Police Department. This area could see power outages, high winds, and substantial mud and debris flow, according to the police department. Police said that residents who choose to stay should remain watchful, ensure you possess a sufficient 72-hour supply of food, medications, and provisions, and promptly report any instances of mud or debris flow in your vicinity. The evacuation warning will remain in effect from noon local time on Sunday until noon local time on Monday. FEMA prepared. Does anybody know why? That's probably a topic for a whole nother day or when I come back on. Okay. I'm going to read your comments and then I'm going to call my employer. Okay. Colleen says that she works at a trauma 2 hospital, so the cases are not as bad. Trauma 1 hospitals are generally more chaotic. Lisa says, I heard COVID is spreading again. What do you think? I did too, but I think that I heard that it was spreading again. You know, I think that people, they're done with hearing about COVID, unfortunately. So I don't know. I hope that everybody stays safe. That's what I hope. Oh, okay. Okay. My mom, it's not raining at all here. Like when I started this live, it was raining. It's not raining at all here. So my mom lives a little bit east of me. So she lives closer towards San Diego than I do. We recently redid her roof as well. So knock on wood. I don't know. Knock on wood that your roof is good, Mom. I'm more worried about your roof. Sonia says, looks like it's going to be a rough night. I don't like what the storm hurricane makes land fall at night. Seems as if it's done more damage at night. So now, of course, I want everybody to stay safe. But what my mom texted me this morning is, I bet you love this weather. Not life shattering amounts, but I do love the rain. I love the sound of the rain. I love the smell of the rain. In general, I love water. In the past, I surf. I've got surfboards in my backyard right now. I don't love that this is potentially dangerous, but it's really rare to see rain in August. So there are, I like that part of it. I don't like the dangerous part of it. But my mom is saying that rain is now coming down hard and it's limiting visibility. Okay. So I'm afternoon. It's 12:15, which is the time I told my employer that I would call them to check in. And I got to start getting ready in case I do have to go to work, because I definitely do want to take my time being on the roads. So you guys, please stay safe out there. Yeah, and I will definitely, well, not definitely, but I will probably go live if I don't have to go to work today. And guys, if you don't feel safe and you are scheduled to be at work today, please communicate with your employers, let them know. And hopefully you guys work for a good employer like I do, that takes your input and your feelings about whether you personally feel safe or not into account. All right, you guys, stay safe out there. Go charge up your batteries, get some candles. Make sure that you've got drinking water and maybe some water to flush your toilet. Lots of prayers to everybody. Yeah, and prayers to Maui that we got another update. So we'll check that one. Oh, tropical storm warning issued for Huntington Beach. A tropical storm. Aren't we all under tropical storm warning? Okay, whatever. Just read the article, Shelly. Don't judge. Okay, tropical storm warning issued for Huntington Beach. A tropical storm warning has been issued for Huntington Beach, according to a tweet from the city's account. Officials expect the city will be walloped with a heavy rain and high winds of up to 40 miles per hour with gusts of up to 60 miles per hour. Residents should secure loose items outdoors and avoid driving if possible, according to the city's tweet. The National Weather Service issues tropical storm warnings when winds between 39 and 73 miles per hour are expected in a coastal area within 36 hours. Huntington Beach is located about 40 miles southeast of downtown LA. And this is the city of Huntington Beach. The city will use a citywide siren system in case of a large-scale emergency, according to its tweet, which adds that residents should check Huntington Beach, ca.gov, or the city's social media accounts for more information upon hearing the siren. And guys, charge up your cell phone right now. Just please stay safe, and I'll try and check back in with you later if I don't go to work. All right. Have a good rest of your Saturday. Sunday. Have a good rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you next time.